Which legendary Reddit post comment can you still not get over? This one guy was on the toilet, and he sneezed while he was taking a shit. That same moment, the power in his house went out. He proceeded to cry because he thought he shit himself blind. I can't remember everything about the post or even which sub it was in, but I think about this one a lot. Original poster was staying in a hotel and the person in the room next to them was blasting Sesame Street. They suddenly heard a grown man yell, "God damn it, Mr. Noodle." I can't find the post, but it was a man whose son was born evil. They knew it right away. Born in the 70s, I believe. When he, the son, was older, he tried to kill his baby sister, or something, and the mom started to beat him up. The dad left the room and waited until she stopped. She came out 20 minutes later and he said, "Is he dead?" She said, "My God, I hope so." They locked themselves downstairs for 2 weeks, listening to him move around a little bit here and there. After 2 weeks he left and they never saw him again. This comment from Arnold Schwarzenegger lifting up a guy who had a terrible day at the gym. I always say, don't be afraid of failure, because how far can you really fall? You found out, to the ground. It's right there. Now you know it isn't anything that should scare you. I forget the whole thing, but something along the lines of a guy had to go to a dinner with his wife's parents. Ate some edibles not realizing how strong they were. And he was sweating like a pig, claiming how spicy the food was. Then his wife was like, "We've only had the appetizer, bread and water." I have no idea how to get the link, but it had me in tears the first time. Trust me, it's way funnier than I make it to be. The AskReddit where drug dealers talk about having to turn their customers into child protective services. Shit got bleak. There was an AskReddit thread that said, "What do you think nobody in the world is doing right now?" Top comment was masturbating to me. Top reply was, "Just rubbed one out for ya. Godspeed, sir." The post where a woman is saying how her husband and father-in-law are prepping for her to die during childbirth, even though she and fetus are perfectly healthy. They 100% were plotting to kill her. And there not being an update has me scared for her. The man whose girlfriend buried his canned beans in the woods. There was one that I've never been able to find again, but some guy insulted somebody, and he replied with something like, "Says the virgin with the 3-inch penis," and provided links from the other guy's post history that proved both those assertions. It was an absolute burial. You love to see it. I've been on the toilet for about an hour now and can't move my legs because of this post. I remember some guy asked Reddit what movie really made an impact on their life, and some guy said Paul Blart, Mall Cop, and somehow every post from that point on would end up relating to Paul Blart. Even made some leaks into other threads. A recent one, but that 40-something-year-old guy who bought like 5 Peloton bikes to give to the family of his 21-year-old Eastern European wife because they told him it was tradition in their country. I'm surprised not to see this one. A guy peed on a pregnancy test on whim and it came back positive. I think he did find out he had testicular cancer and thankfully survived. The guy who secretly eats an entire pizza and chicken wings in his backyard while his wife sleeps. There was a post a month or so ago about a girl whose boyfriend kept telling her she smells bad, no matter how undeniably good she smelled. Finally he admitted that he was just telling her she smelled bad to keep her self-esteem low enough she wouldn't leave him. Then she immediately dumped him. The dude who had a girlfriend that struggled to quit smoking, so he decided to take up smoking for a month. Just so he could show her how easy it is to quit if you are totally dedicated to quitting. He still smokes 10 years later. She quit a long time ago. The guy who had an entire alternate life while in a coma. This one in legal advice where a landlord kicked out their tenant for going on a business trip by plane about a month before the lockdown. In addition, she created a thread elsewhere asking to buy a gun. It was a bit disturbing.